Good morning, everyone. This is your instructor, Srinivasulu Saya. We have Karthik, Rohan, Amna, James, and Saifali. Are you able to hear me? And are you able to see my screen? Good morning, Rohan. Okay, great. Yeah, we have 5 attendees in this webinar. Let's start. Yeah, so in yesterday's session, there are a few questions. Saifali asked one question regarding the form label width. That I said I'll cover when I'm talking about HTML5 forms. And yesterday when we were doing, when I was giving the demo, so I could not demonstrate this attribute. If you remember the tilde, I tried it, but it was not working. Probably it's just some ordering of the declarations, or probably I would have not had something else. So just if you see here, so this is the attribute selector which I could not demonstrate. I'll demonstrate that today. Yeah, so this is a simple HTML5 which has got 3 paragraphs. So note that the tilde character was it's called generic search. Let me just see what it was. Yeah, so this is module 3. So I'm going to the place where the selector is present. Yeah, this is the selector. You can see here, I think this one. This is called partial attribute value selector. So this tilde. So I have it today. This is my CSS style 3, which is for, so I have the style here. Note that, so for the class attribute, so the para can be present anywhere in the value. As you can see, for the first paragraph, I have 3 values for the class. One is one class value, para is another class value, XYZ is another class value. And second paragraph, I have value only para. Note that para is here present in the first paragraph and second paragraph. For the third paragraph, no class value is present. And if I go and demonstrate that, you see here, I'm refreshing it. And you see that the first paragraph, second paragraph, are shown in green. So I'll just go to this style, this partial attribute value selector, and change it to blue. So okay, yeah. Blue. Note that these 2 declarations, para 1, para 2. So those are the ID value selectors. Since ID values are not present, so they're as good as not being there. So now I change this selector only to blue, and I'm refreshing it, and you see that okay, it got selected and then it changed. And you can change it to again say red, and you can see that it is changing to red. So yeah, just that probably I got something wrong yesterday. That's why it didn't work. Okay, I think yeah, other question which regarding the changing the form label width, which Saifal has asked yesterday, we'll cover when we're talking more in detail about HTML5 forms. Yeah. So let me go back to my module 4 slides. Yeah, this today's. Yeah, before yeah, let me see how many of you are there. I think there are only 5 of you. Fine. Yeah, before we start with today's session, Yesterday, I got the feedback from only from 3 of you. So, see, there are almost, I think, 5 to 6 attendees were there in yesterday's class. So I request all of you to just spend probably 2 minutes. There are only some 3 or 4 questions. It should not take more than 2 minutes or less than a minute for you to fill in the feedback form, unless you want to give some encouraging comments to me in the comment section. Otherwise, it's just selecting the bullets and clicking and submit. So it should take less than a minute. So I request all of you to please fill in the, just spend 1 or 2 minutes and fill in the feedback at the end of the session, so that I get to know how you are receiving this class, and so that I can make the improvements the best possible I can. Okay. So can I get commitment from you that you'll be answering the survey, please? Can you answer in the, because just getting them 3 feedback from just 3 people is okay. Yeah, someone who already given the feedback yesterday, thank you very much. I really appreciate. Please continue to fill in the feedback at the end of each session, because so each session could be different. Probably I might be talking more about theory. Like in the first session, I wanted to communicate whatever all the things I know. I want to pass on my knowledge to you, but within the limited time frame. So I might be really talking more. In such a case, if I am conscious about it, which I will only through your feedback, then I'll be aware of that. Yes, where I'm giving more theory or more, and what are the things which I'm not able to see, which you're not able to appreciate well. So then I'll try to modify the session. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's start with today's session. Yeah. So today's is module 4. In today's class, we'll be discussing about HTML5. What are the differences between? So yeah, today's module 5. So at the end of this module, we'll be talking about HTML. We'll be learning more about HTML5. What are the new features of HTML5? How to create HTML5 documents, and what is the structure of HTML5 page? How it differs from the HTML4. Okay, and as part of this, in the first submodule, it's module 4.1. So we. Yeah, just a word of caution here. So this HTML5, actually there's a very considerably with respect to the structure, there are only few useful elements which are defined in HTML5, but it's very essential to understand how this standard evolved, what changed from HTML 4.1 to HTML5, what are the reasons, and how much support is there of HTML5 in the browsers. So as I said, so this HTML5 has been just standardized few months back. Not all the browsers support all the features. So if you know about the history, then it will be you'll be able to make judgments whether it's a browser has not implemented, browser not supported, or it's something wrong with the way you written the HTML markup, or what else. So that you'll be able to make a judgment call better once you know the little bit of history. That's the reason why in this class it'll be more it'll be theory. So I'll try to see what are the important points that I'll briefly cover. Rest of the things which are obvious ones, I would request you to read through the slides, and if you have any questions, probably we can come back with the questions in the next module. Okay. And then so we'll also see why we need HTML5 and how the HTML5 evolved. Okay. Yeah. So brief history about HTML we covered in the module 1, part 1. Yeah. So yeah, as a continuation of that, so HTML 4 has been revised because it was not complete, and then 4.01 became the reasonably complete standard, which all the websites and web designers started using it. So yeah, there is you might have heard of what is called XHTML. Okay, so this is actually I would say it's a precursor to HTML5. Precursor, I mean when what WHAT-WG working group started working on this HTML5 standard, what we see as of today. Parallelly, W3 consortium started working on XHTML. So his intention was to to kill the HTML 4.01, so adopt more like a XML. So that's the reason why XHTML stands for XML, which is a cutting edge technology at that time, and also classic HTML, which is 4.01. But one problem with XHTML was it's unforgiving if you have any errors on the page. So what unforgiving means? So you have to be very perfect in specifying the markup. Like for example, in place of ampersand symbol, so let's say in place of ampersand AMP semicolon, that's a if you can recall from the first class, it is a character entity reference. In place of character entity reference, if you put ampersand character itself, then it will give a fatal error, and it's completely will not render any page at all. Okay, and because this very strict nature of XHTML, not many browser vendors adopted it. So it was not very well supported by the browsers. Obviously, see, all the users view the web through the browsers only. Of course, if the browser does not support it, users don't use it. So as you can see, it started in 2000, January 2000. Yeah, I think after receiving the feedback, they started working on XHTML 2.0. So they made sweeping changes. Audio issues. Karthik said there are some audio issues. Are others able to hear me loud and clear? So conflicting audio. So let me just, I didn't understand what is the conflicting audio means. Let me just, yeah. Let me unmute. Yeah, Karthik, I didn't understand what is conflicting audio means. You can speak up because I unmuted you. Karthik,
Hey,
can you hear me?
actually, yeah, yes, I'm able to hear you. Actually, I'm hearing today's as well as yesterday's lecture together.
Yesterday's?
Today's lecture and yesterday's lecture together, I'm hearing.
That's interesting. Oh. So is it the same case with others as well? Let me just mute you, Karthik. I'll just ask probably James. Okay. James, are you also hearing some double voice? Yeah, James? So James is not able to hear the double voice, and Rohan is not able to hear the double voice, and Cypher also is fine. Amna, are you able to hear some double voice? Like Karthik was saying, he was hearing yesterday's my talk and today's talk as well.
No.
No, okay, you are able to hear me only. It's fine, right? Just only one voice. Okay, I think yeah. Rohan had some 2 windows. Yeah, Karthik, is it fine now for you? Karthik, can you just type in the chat window, please? Karthik, are you there? Is the audio fine for you now? So it looks like only you have an issue, Karthik. Others, uh, there are 5 other. Can you just, yeah, I think that's better, Karthik. You just log out and then join back in. I think probably that might solve the issue. Just check it out, whether you have a Citrix in the browser. You will see the Citrix tab. So just close those tabs as well. Then join. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll wait for Karthik. I think it'll take 2 minutes. So in the meantime, until Karthik joins, let me just unmute one by one. So here, about your feedback. Yeah. So Amna, so I unmuted you, so you can speak up into the conference. So anything until even Karthik joins, you can just speak up.
About?
I think, yeah, how many? Yeah, something like if you want to give any feedback about how you want the session to be, what you liked, what you didn't like, anything. If you want to say something in this call, otherwise I'll move on to the next person.
Well, I like pretty much everything.
Just we're killing time until Karthik joins.
Well, everything.
Pardon? So come again?
Well, just a minute, please.
Okay, sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're just killing time until Karthik joins. Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, I feel that everything was pretty good. You explained very well all the concepts. And even when I'm practicing, I don't find a lot of difficulty in
Great. Thank you.
learning. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, yeah. So as I said, so any assignments which you complete, please, route it through the support team of Edureka, so that I receive your copies. Ideally, I would like to do is look at your code, okay, and then see what you have done well, what you have not done well, and give the feedback where you can make it better. So,
Sure.
so that way, so you learn from through my eyes as well.
Okay.
Because see, one thing is listening is one thing, and actually practicing and getting the feedback is another thing. Okay, I want that to happen so that you have more value out of this class. Okay, great. So let me just, yeah, Karthik is back. Let me just quickly take a feedback. Okay, I'm muting you, Amna. I'm muting you and unmuting Chintala Manoj. Manoj, so you can speak up. Yeah.
Yes.
So you are on air now. Chintala Manoj.
Srinivas, class was quite well.
Just share anything. If you don't have anything, just say it doesn't have. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
First class it is general HTML. A lot of concepts I know much more well. And yesterday class is really good. CSS, you said box model and all those things really quite good. And we can go uniformly on each and every topic. We can spend uniformly time on each and every topic. Generally, first 20 slides we are taking more time, and later slides we are taking very less time, right?
Yes, I observed that. Yes.
Yeah, from now onwards we can go uniformly. Means it will really very good. It will be really very good.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I observed it myself. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Srin.
Yeah. So I'm muting you, Manoj, and then I'm unmuting James. James, you're on the air now.
Hi. I have a suggestion while doing the demonstrations. Can you add a debugging tool so that you will come to know how the debugging is doing at the same time? It's like
definitely, yeah. I saw your feedback on the chat window. Yeah, definitely, I would like to do that. Probably today I'll demonstrate a little bit of that. Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm muting you, James. I'm unmuting Karthik. Karthik, is the audio better now?
Yeah, audio is good. Yeah, sure.
You can speak. You are on air now.
Yeah, I'm good with the training, so I'm able to follow the 3 classes so far. Only thing is I'm having the time constraint actually, so I'm not able to focus outside of the class. So I'm just going with the class as it. So probably I just need some help on the Bitnami setup, the initial setup.
Definitely, yes. Yeah, I can help you. See, I'm there, for you always. See, if you are getting stuck, I'm willing to spend extra time. Probably at least half an hour every week. A maximum 1 hour. I'm willing to spend half an hour, 1 hour extra with you. Probably we can have, if possible, we can have a, what do you call, in the GoToWebinar itself. Okay, if others want to join, I can organize a special class at whatever convenient time to all of you who are interested to join. At that time, probably we'll have more interactive session. So I know that in this webinar, so it's more of talking most of the time. You're always just listening. So, but ideally in a real classroom. So since we see face to face each other, so that will be more interactive. Ideally, I would like to have that, but unfortunately, since all of us in geographically distinct locations, that's not possible. This is the best we could do. Okay, so yes, so that special class, special session, probably we can have more interactive session. That's fine. So just request for it. Probably you can send a request to Edureka support. So probably if you want, if you suggest some convenient time today itself. So yeah, let's decide on the convenient time, and we can have something next week. I'm fine with that. But I want to make sure that you are up to the speed, and you should get the maximum benefit out of each and every class. So that's why I said no. I'm committed that I have only one goal in mind, that I want all the registrant, all the people who register for this class, I want them to be really confident with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I don't see, for me, time is not a constraint. Okay? Is that fine? Karthik, you request for
sure.
it.
Yeah, sure.
You request the time. Okay? You suggest a time. Suggest right now. That's fine.
Okay, probably after
So,
all
see,
the
it is
classes
up
are
to you
over.
to make use of my time.
Probably after all classes are over, there should be maybe one more class just on the practical side, some like a project or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And see, if you have problem in Bitnami setup, and we can have a probably separate call, and I'll help you. So probably I'll take a control of your screen and then help you how to do it. I know that not all of you are comfortable. Even I'm not comfortable with all the stuff. So everyone needs help. So I'm willing to help you because I want you to make sure that take some time out and then basically get a hands-on. So once you get your hands, like for example, if you jump into the swimming pool, you will learn swimming. If you don't jump into the swimming pool, you will never be able to swimming. Am I right or not?
Absolutely.
The same way, I want you to start doing the coding so that you are comfortable. Okay. Yeah, Lorraine, I see your comment. This time, that is 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Indian Standard Time is not convenient. I completely agree because you are based out of US. There's almost I don't know how many hours of 10 hours or 12 hours of time difference, depending on whether you're West Coast or East Coast. Yeah, for that reason, so if it is really inconvenient for you, you can always get back to Edureka support team, and because there are another batch which is coming up next month. This month. This month 24. So which is just like after 3 weeks. So I'll be presenting the same class. Oh, Lorraine, that's not good. Lorraine says that she can attend only half of the class every night. That's not good, Lorraine. Then I would suggest you to probably get back to Edureka support team and tell them that you have this timing problem. So next whenever the next session, which is starting on 21st of February, so we are doing it from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Indian Standard Time, so which is a morning time for you. So then it should be convenient for you, right? So I think Edureka, somewhere I read it that Edureka does allow the participants to shift from one batch to another batch if time is not convenient. Why don't you just get back to the support team? You can just raise a ticket and then you can join the class there. I'll be presenting the same, so you'll not miss anything there. So see, if you just attend only half of the class, then you will not be able to get the maximum benefit out of these sessions. So yeah, definitely I would love to have you in this class, but unfortunately if it is inconvenient and then you are able to attend only half of the class, then it's not good. Okay, can you contact the support team? Okay, good. Okay, let me get back to the class. Okay, yeah, so yeah, then when they realized, okay, there's some feedback from XHTML 1.0, they made some sweeping changes. As far as specification wise, it was good, but unfortunately it was not very realistic for implementation. And another problem was it was incompatible with HTML 4.01 and XHTML 1.0, its own predecessor. So incompatibility with HTML 4.01 means, so by then a lot of people have developed millions of web pages, and all of them will break. If browsers support that XHTML 2.0, then existing web pages will break. Then you have people will not be able to access the web. That's a huge catastrophe. So since there's no vendors has taken XHTML 2.0 as a standard, so it died a silent death in July 2009. From then onwards, W3 consortium has taken, they've seen that whatever the path they have taken, that which is the XHTML path, since there were no takers, then the W3 consortium didn't have any other option. By then, HTML5 standard, which was being developed by Watt working group, it was adopted by W3 consortium, and then it became the current HTML5 standard what we see today. So what stands for, as you can see here, this Web Hypertext Application Technology Group. Actually, this is a subgroup of W3C consortium. Okay. Yeah, one difference is between like XHTML 2.0 was a document focused. Document focused means it just renders the document, HTML documents. Whereas HTML5 is a web application focused. Web application means basically you have a software application which is running on a web platform. The difference is web application means basically there is a more interactivity between the what you see on the web and the user, or probably even the backend web server as well. So all these three, user, the web browser, and the backend web server, all these components will be working to give a software application like experience on the web. Like as you can see that you're already seeing, like see Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. So those are the standalone applications which you need to install. Whereas now you see Google Docs. So everything you can do on the web, almost 30 to 40% of the same functionality which most of the people use. So that is the power of web application, which is supported by HTML5, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. So yeah, by having a web application focus, you can create a dynamic or interactive web applications on the browser itself. So another good thing about HTML5 was, so see, XHTML 2.0 was incompatible with both HTML 4.01 and XHTML 1.0. Whereas interestingly, what WG group was very clever. They made HTML5 compatible with XHTML 4.01 and XHTML HTML 4.01 and XHTML 1.0. Because of this, there are a lot many takers. Almost all of them adopted HTML5. Only thing is HTML5 is very exhaustive standard, and they're taking time to implement it. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah, Karthik has a question. Yeah, you see, if you have any questions, please type in the chat window. I wanted to make more interactive because I said this is today's session is a little bit of theory, but this theory is important because so that gives you a lot of knowledge about. Then you'll be able to make good judgments. Karthik has asked a question. Our current browsers support HTML5. Yes, see, our current browsers do support HTML5. So let me just see. See, I have 5 browsers, all the 5 browsers. So this is a Chrome browser, and this is the Opera browser, and then this is a Firefox browser, and this is the Internet Explorer, and this is the Safari. All 5 browsers I have installed. There is a website called HTML5 test. Okay. So this website tests the features of HTML5. How many features have been implemented in that browser? You can see. So this browser supports scored 511 out of 555 points. So these are the features. Like for example, regarding the parsing rules, video element, audio element, forms. These are all the features which are defined as part of HTML5 standard. And you can see tick means yes, it's been supported. Here no means that's not supported. And you can see that here 10. Like for example, HTML5 forms, out of 75 features which are there in the HTML5 standard, 73 features have been supported by the Chrome browser. So only, as you can see, the input type date time is not supported. That's the one feature. And yeah, I think there's only one feature not supported here. And probably even there's some scoring system which I don't know. Yeah, and you can just scroll down. You can see streams, readable streams and writable streams. So out of 5, 0 it's scored. Means streams have not been supported at all in Chrome browser. And yeah. So that is the support. This is the best support you have in the browsers now, 511. So that will cover. And there is a next best is the Opera browser. I'll just go and show. So one of you have been unmuted. I'm just Karthik. I just mute you. Yeah, you can see here now the Opera browser. So it scored only, just a minute. It scored only 507. Chrome has scored 511, whereas Opera scored 507, about 4 points lesser. And you can see scroll down and see even Opera also doesn't support streams. Then let's go back to the Firefox browser. So note that all these 5 browsers, I downloaded the latest versions. Please download the latest versions of all these browsers. You search for them on Google and then download it. So all these are latest versions. If you don't have latest version, the support might be even lesser. So for example, so this is the support. So as you can see here, the Chrome browser is Chrome version 40, and Opera is, so you can see in this, the Opera is 27.0, and Firefox is Firefox 35.0. So note that here this scored only 449 points, and it doesn't support even responsive images, and streams also doesn't have support. For example, web components like HTML templates and imports, only 2 out of 10 support. And next comes Internet Explorer. So an Internet Explorer browser So let me just see the support. So yeah, it scored only 336 points out of 555. So note that I'm using IE 11.0. So yeah, actually IE started supporting HTML5 from IE 10.0 version onwards. That is the last year, but now I mean recently they came up with 11.0 because IE was falling far behind compared to other browsers. They've taken note of it, and then since that HTML5 has become the standard now, so they started adding features quickly, so that they don't lag behind this in browser race. So even with the latest version of 11.0 also, it scored only 336 points. Note that here this is element support, and form support is also yellow, only 34 points out of 75, and responsive image is not there, 2D graphics also not there, and input, this feature also web applications, all you can see here. So even user interaction also it's scored less, streams is not there, web components is not there, and so on. And next comes the Safari browser. So on Safari, yeah, so it scored even much lesser, 209 out of 55 points only. So that is the, I think with these are reasonably a good representative indication of how much of HTML5 support is there in the current version of browsers. Like for example, the Safari is Safari 5.1.7, which is on Windows. Probably this Safari is mainly on Apple Macintosh machines, but they have ported onto Windows machine as well. Probably on Macintosh machines the support might be better. Yeah, I hope Karthik that answered your question regarding how much of HTML5 support is there on the current browsers. Yeah, great. Thanks, Karthik. Lauren has a question. How does HTML5 work for mobile devices which normally use Safari? I think, see, Safari browser is there on iPhone, whereas see other smart devices, smartphones, they'll be using, I don't know, most probably they'll be using either native browsers which is supported by the vendor, or they'll be, if they have downloaded Android Chrome browser on Android platforms, or they might download the Mozilla for mobile, so that Firefox for mobile from Mozilla, or even Opera also has got the browsers, Opera browser on mobile devices, smart devices. I think, yeah, these are the three popular devices. I think, yeah, on Safari is there, I think, as I know, mainly on probably iPhones. I didn't check whether it's there on other smart Android platforms and BlackBerry and others as well. So, see, basically, since HTML5 and CSS3, I'm really surprised how they were able to support HTML5 and CSS3 and JavaScript, all these three engines on a small and the handheld smart devices. But yes, mobile devices do support, natively support HTML5, CSS3 and JavaScript, and that's the reason why if you develop a website using HTML5, CSS3 and JavaScript, you'll be able to view it more or less similar to what is your experience on desktop on mobile devices as well. That is one of the important, I would say, attraction for the web developers to adopt the HTML5 and CSS3. Yeah, but so these browser vendors are mobile device vendors. May not be supporting like all the features of HTML5, but yes, they do reasonably good support that you can view the pages with some difficulty, but yes, at least it's viewable. Another thing is that earlier most of the websites were using jQuery, which is a JavaScript library, and it's very reasonably heavyweight library. But when On the desktop, because of a lot of computing power, you can view the web page even if you had a jQuery. But the same web page, if you view it on the web, mobile devices, then because of low computing power, so probably it was very slow. So that that was one of the obstacle for the smartphone device users for having a better web experience on the mobile devices. So because of HTML5 and CSS3, that barrier has been reduced significantly, and they can these HTML5 and CSS3 web pages can be rendered very efficiently and very fast, reasonably fast on the mobile device as well. Did that answer your question, Lorraine? Okay. Yeah, another thing I need to admit here that I haven't, so I did create one page in HTML5 and CSS3 and then started viewing on my browser, which is on the mobile device. My mobile is almost like 4 years old. That's the reason why I didn't have a very great experience. Probably with the latest version of latest mobile device, I think it should be a much better experience. Okay, let's get back to our class. Yeah. So one of if you ask why do we need HTML5, so basically Laura has another question. Do you code the same for mobile devices? Did you mean that is the same HTML5 CSS3 code which works on desktop devices, does the same code work on mobile device? Is that what your question, Lauren? Yes. You are right. The same code which works for a desktop on your laptop, okay, works for even your iPads and even your smart devices, provided they support HTML5 and CSS3. But nowadays, as I said, latest devices are supporting it, and at least all these vendors, mobile device vendors, have announced the support. Because if they don't announce support, they'll lag behind. As you know, nowadays, the people who are browsing the web on the smart device and mobile device is already crossed the people who browse the web from the desktop devices. Yeah, see, some sites like you said, again, sites like Walmart.com, they have not give the same experience on mobile device and desktop device. It's just like they don't have resources and then time, because some business reasons they would not have made that pages compatible for desktop device and mobile devices. So if see, nowadays if you don't do something for mobile device as well, then you are basically losing some potential customers. So yeah, it's their business decision, but so they should start doing it quite fast. Otherwise, they'll lose the customers. Yeah, as I said, not many websites still haven't migrated to HTML5 because the reason being, not many people. See, people have been for last 10-15 years. They're happy coding, doing a web coding in HTML 4.01 and CSS 2.1. So they are like almost 10 or 15 years old, and not many people are comfortable because they have not learned HTML5 and CSS3. They are not able to migrate because lack of expertise, and even these companies are also not putting the effort to migrate to the HTML5 and CSS3. So they should do it early. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. See, that is the old way of doing stuff. So they used to have m.walmart.com, some m prefix as subdomain for mobile device and www for desktop devices. So yeah, that is almost like 10 or 15 years old way of doing things. Like doing one thing for desktop, doing a different subdomain for mobile. That is old, and that consumes a lot of time. So now if you put a little bit of extra marginal, probably some 20 or 30% extra time, so then you can make it compatible for all the mobile devices. It's just due to lack of expertise, they're not able to do it. Did that answer your question, Alright? Why? You see some websites still have M dot, a different basically implementation for mobile and desktop. So with HTML5 and CSS3, ideally you should be able to see the same code on both devices, desktop and mobile. Did that answer your question, Lorraine? Yeah. Amna has a question. Then why there are separate applications for mobiles and laptops? Are mobile applications lighter? Yes, Amna, you're right. So even on the mobile applications, so you can write the native mobile applications using Java or Objective-C in case of Apple devices, and so on, depending upon whatever the native language supported by that browser, not browser, that device or operating system which is running on that mobile device. Most probably it will be Java and some other language. The thing is, obviously, since there is a native support, see if the application is developed natively for that platform, it will be definitely faster. But only, sorry, flip side is that you have to download that application from the, probably from the net, from that supplier, and then install it. That's a one additional overhead. So it might be a little faster, but since since it is natively supported, so almost all the application features which you implemented, it will work 100%. Whereas if you develop HTML5 and CSS3 web application for a mobile devices, what happens is if the HTML5 and CSS3 has not been supported by that mobile device or operating system, then you may not see all the features will be working. So that's the reason why it becomes it doesn't give a good experience to the end users. That's the reason why it might appear that HTML5 web applications will have inferior user experience compared to native applications. It might even appear that they are slower. It's just like matter of time that once these device vendors also support HTML and CSS3, I think web application will be at least as good as native applications. Like if you ask me whether MS Word is faster compared to Google Docs, I think yeah, it depends on your net connection and your computing power on your mobile device. Obviously, laptops are much have more computing power and more memory. Obviously, you cannot compare apples and oranges, and apples and grapes. Sorry, so grape, like mobile device is like a grape, and so desktop is like apples. You cannot compare apples and grapes. But I think yeah, once they become faster, I think the apple you have to make it little so more stronger. Grapes. Then I think it will be able to support. Yeah, I think now for some more time you will see separate native application and web applications, but I think that the migration will happen from native to the web application. One advantage with web application is that see, once you write in HTML5 CSS3, now irrespective of which device, whether it's a BlackBerry, Android, or iPhone, any device, it will work uniformly, consistently. So that is the power. You don't have to write different applications for different devices. So there are some frameworks already available. There is something like Sencha, Touch, or something. So those using those frameworks, once you write applications, it is portable to other mobile devices as well. But I haven't used it. But we don't know how powerful and how compatible they are with all the devices. There's some frameworks available so that you write once on that using that framework, and you can port it and make it work on all other devices. Did that answer your question, Hamna? Okay, great. Yeah, so coming back to the slides, let me just make it bigger. Yeah. Yeah, one important the feature or requirement which they wanted to achieve in HTML5 is support for accessibility. So accessibility, I mentioned in the class, like accessibility for the physically challenged people, like visually challenged people, or people who have or like people who cannot move hands because of some motor nerve problems. For them, web should be still accessible. That's why it's called accessibility requirement. So the HTML 4.1, 4.01 didn't have the features to read out the HTML pages. So because they lacked the semantic tags like header, nav, navigation, and aside, which is on the right side. So I'll demonstrate some of these tags later. And so in 4.01, there is no native support for video and audio. What it means was, you need to use probably Shockwave files or some other third-party players, video and audio players, and then embed that as an object inside HTML. So note that since there are a lot of third-party players are available, some work well, some doesn't work well, and because of that, audio-video experience on the web was not very good. If you're familiar with some music sites like Ghana and yeah, these sites, raga.com. So yeah, only some of those sites will have somewhat better multimedia experience for audio and video. Video especially, only YouTube was the best experience. But not many other websites could not support audio and video smoothly and effortlessly. So to plug that gap, they added a video and audio tag so that the browser itself will natively support the audio and video, so that you don't need any third-party media player. And also, so they came up with some open support. Open format, like for example MP3 and MP4 and other formats. There are a lot of other formats which are like WMV, that is a Windows Media Wave file, and all of them are the proprietary formats. So that time even the web community came up with what do you call open support, open format for audio and video as well. One of them is called OGG Theora. This is patent free, whereas most of like MP4 formats which has audio and video, which uses H.264, which is from ITUT. ITUT stands for International Telecommunication Union, and T for stands for telecommunication. So this is an international standardization body for audio video communications on basically on telephone lines. So but it is a commercial. So since it is a commercial, you have to pay the licensing fees to ITUT, who is the owner of it. So this are some commercial implications. Note that this OGG Theora was supported by companies like Opera Software and Mozilla, whereas H.264 was supported by Google and Apple companies. So actually, yeah, now still Word has not chosen between the two. Still only time will tell which will win between these two formats. And other thing is, so in HTML 4.01, a lot of people are using divs and classes. This is called like appendicitis disease. So excessive use of divs and classes is called divitis and classitis. So these are words you might come across. So for everything, for each and every block or element which you see on the element, so on the web browser and web page, you'll be using div. So even sites like even YouTube is also no exception. So for everything, just for having a nice layout, they started using div. So can one of you tell why people were using divs very frequently? Can one of you try answering that on the chat window? Okay, fine. I think I didn't get any response. Fine. So the reason is, so div stands for division. Like any division on the, exactly, yeah, Saif Ali responded. Yes, James also responded. Yes, because of the layout and the structural presentation. See, they want to have nice box structure of the website, and basically for the layout of the page. Since using the divs was a most convenient way, people started using div excessively, and they used to nest almost 6 to 7 levels of depth, which is very difficult to read and understand, and what component is embedding what and so on. And especially assume that, okay, if just people who have like eyes, we are finding it difficult even go through the code, and think about people who are visually challenged, and if they are browsing the website, and the screen reader will really go for a toss in reading out that such web pages. That's why those pages are not accessible to the visually challenged people. That's the reason why you should use a div very sparingly. If nothing works, see, div, though it has been excessively used before, I would say, quote, abuse, unquote. It was very quite abused in the earlier websites, but now I think because of HTML5, that abuse can be reduced significantly. Only if no other tag will serve your purpose, then only you should go back to div tag as a fallback option. Okay. So yeah, and there are other features like there is if you are familiar with most of the websites, especially when you go to one of the banking websites or shopping websites. So these website will store what is called cookies on your browser. So the cookies will be stored somewhere on your machine. But the thing is, the problem with is, okay, sometimes users might delete those cookies accidentally. Then again, you have to start afresh, plant a new cookie. So you might be familiar that, okay, sometimes you might be wondering that, okay, the website will know that, okay, when you last logged in, and like for even Google Gmail also, you can, even if the browser, if you close the browser and again open the browser again, and since it has planted a cookie on your machine, it knows that, okay, you already been authenticated and then logged in, and it will not ask you the password again when you restart the application, because it knows that, okay, you are authenticated. That information is there in the cookie. So let's say if you clear that cookie, then again you have to authenticate. So that problem is there with the cookies, but with web storage, that problem will be alleviated to a greater extent. And also the HTML5 gives the better user experience, like graphics and animation, drag and drop, which feature was available only using jQuery, that you can do it now natively in HTML5. And inline document editing means, so as you see it, you can start editing there itself, that the paragraph text. So note that for for inputting the text, you should have separate tags called input. But say within the paragraph, say within the p tag, the content is not editable. But with content editable attribute, you can even any element which has got a content editable attribute, you can see the pink, that is the attribute. So once you have, if you let user to edit, mark an element as content editable, so users can edit that as well. And also you can do games development using Canvas, and so that you have overall better experience in HTML5. And also this HTML5 has got geolocation. Geolocation means, I hope all of you understand. Let me ask this question. So how many of you know geolocation, what you understand by it? So can you answer in the chat window? Geolocation. Okay. Yeah. If you don't know, just you can just type in question mark. Yeah. Karthik has answered. Yeah. Chintala Manoj also answered. Yeah. Okay, fine. So yeah, there's half of the people don't know. Let me just briefly say. So geolocation means, like for example, let me just go back and then just play. Exactly, yeah. So I'm also answered. Yes, basically based on the IP address of your machine. Okay, so now you will be basically once that IP address is given to the backend web application or website. So that web application or website will know from which location you are connected to that website. Whether, like for example, Google Maps will know whether I'm in Bangalore or I'm in Delhi or I'm in Mumbai or whether I'm in probably let's San Francisco. So because the generally see it's not very accurate. So it has got still a lot of loopholes, a lot of bugs, but they'll try to do the best what do you call best match. Yeah, so that is a basically given IP address, you should be able to get the latitude and longitude of your physical location on this earth. So that earlier you have to do it outside basically you should use some third party the database and third party basically application framework code to really to do that IP address to geographical location lookup. But now in HTML5 it does support natively. So what that means is, I mean, tomorrow if you are browsing a web on a mobile device, the mobile device probably using either your IP address or your GPS position, it will know, see if your GPS is enabled or some other technology which is available on that mobile device. So it will tell you exactly your latitude, longitude on this earth. So from that, so the advantage is, let's say if you are in let's say in Bangalore, so your application, let's say a travel website, so it might basically pop up the tourist places in and around Bangalore. Let's say if you go to Mumbai, it will show you the tourist places in and around the Mumbai. So that way, the websites or web applications can give you the location specific or location specific information, and let's say restaurants nearby and so on. So that you have better user experience. And also it has gotten mobile device support as well, because mobile device, it could be like what do you call your smartphone, and it could be your iPads as well. So since their screen sizes are different, so you should have separate dimension units of measure like points and percentage. You should have something like viewport as well. That support is also there in HTML5. Okay. So any questions? I think Here you have any other questions? I hope all of you understood now what is geographical location, geolocation. Instead of geographical location, which is longer, so it is just shortened to geolocation. So James and Saif Ali, so you got it? What is geolocation? So actually we will briefly see this geolocation is a very advanced topic. Like even Canvas is also advanced topic. These topics we'll just briefly cover in the last session, which is module 10. So we will not go in detail because each one of them is topic by itself, which will take close to 10 hours to explain. So that we'll briefly touch upon. Okay, so let's look at how the HTML5 evolved. So I'll just quickly go through. It started way back in 2004, and then by around 2017 to 2007 to 2010, it was well started adopted by the web community. So in 2012, so they announced that it will be a standard candidate. Standard means it is probably will get standardized. That's what it means, candidate standard status. And finally, on October 28th last year, 2014, it has been accepted as standard. So to tell in terms of IETF naming wording, it's become a standard track. So actually, a lot of people on the web, they predicted that it will take 2012. Okay, not 2012, 2022. They predicted sometime in 2012, saying it will take another 10 years to really reach a standard status. But that's very good news. That they beat the deadline by about 8 years. So in 2014, it has been standardized. Now time start ticking on all these mobile device vendors and browser vendors to start adopting the features of HTML5, so that they don't lose the race. Yeah, here so this I already demonstrated in HTML5test.com site. So as I said here, Google Chrome supports 511 points. This is 507 and so on. In terms of percentage, so total number of points is like 555 points. So if you calculate the percentage, Google Chrome has a 92% support, Opera has 91, Mozilla Firefox is 81, and IE 11 60, and Safari browser on Windows is 37. So that is the percentage of support for HTML5. Okay. Yeah, so that completes the module 1. So yeah, I think since we have 3 modules, we just finished within 1 hour. So do you have any questions here? So can we take a just 5-minute break now? Okay, yeah. All of you want 5-minute break? Yeah, it is 9:08 now, so we'll be back by 9:13. Okay. Okay, thank you. I am muting myself. Yeah, I'm back. Karthik, you are saying that you are having a conflicting audio again. Let me just unmute you. Yeah, Karthik, you are on the air. So, yeah,
No,
speak out. Yeah, go ahead.
no, I'm good actually. At the time I had it. I'm good now.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine, great. Yeah, let's get back. So let's start with, let's continue with the module 4.2. So in this module, we'll briefly see what are the differences between HTML 4.01. So let's be more specific, 4.01 and HTML5, and what are the elements which are present in HTML4 that got deprecated. Deprecated means they got removed in HTML5. And what are the new tags which are called structural tags or content tags, or even they're called semantic tags. So all mean the same: structural tags, content tags, and semantic tags. So what are the new tags that were defined in HTML5? And there are a few application focused tags. So we'll have a look at them. Yeah. So here are the so these are all the HTML4 features. They are present in 4.01. But whenever though I refer to HTML4, so I am referring to HTML 4.01. Okay. So say frame related features like the tags, the frame set, and no frames. All these 3 are the HTML 4.01 element tags. All of them were removed in HTML5. Only iframe, which is called inline frame, only that is supported in HTML5. So if you are creating a HTML5 page, please do not use frame, frame set, and no frames tags. And there are some styling related tags in HTML4 like I for italics, big, and font, and then strike. All these were present in HTML4, but you should not use them anymore in HTML5 because they're deleted. And to achieve the same purpose, use CSS styling, because all the things which are done by these tags, you can do it in using CSS styling on the element. So another problem, as I said, as you know, the many web designers, web programmers are using divs for the layout. Similarly, some web designers were using tables. The tables what basically, which is meant for displaying the table information like exchange rates or share prices. That for data, for the table of data, we have to use the tables. But since tables were nicely layout, they give a nice layout. They started using, even for content also, they started using the tables. So that's the one thing which is a very bad practice, which you should start using, because you should use the table tag only for displaying the data, not for layout. But table tag does exist in HTML5 as well, but you have to use it for the right purpose, not for layout. So you might be wondering why these tags have been deleted in HTML5. So there are a few generic reasons. Like if there are some duplicates of tags which serve the same purpose, then in that case the tags have been deleted. And another main reason is like to separate the page structure from styling. Earlier, styling was also specified inside the HTML page itself. But as you know, HTML is meant for only for structure, for specifying the structure of the page. Any styling has to be done in CSS. So earlier, HTML4 both were mixed. So now they are separated, preferably in a external CSS file. So, like for example, one good example is these I tag big font strike. Those tags are deleted because those can be done in CSS styling. And the frames are not very popularly used in website development. That's the reason why they're also deleted. And one simplification which is done in HTML5 is about doc type. So if you remember, doc type, if you recall from the first slide, so the doc type declaration is very long. So now they just shortened to just this much, which is given in this blue color text. Just doc type HTML. That's it. And like for character encoding, to specify that the site follows UTF-8. So I have not discussed about what is UTF-8. I would suggest you to just search for UTF-8 in Google, and then you will get the links. And I would suggest you to read it because it needs some considerable time to explain what is UTF-8. So earlier you had to define UTF-8 declaration in a meta tag. Such a long. This is HTML4, where in HTML5 it has been shortened, just like char set. There's another simplification. And so these are other elements which got duplicated, which are present in HTML4 but deleted in HTML5. For example, base, big, all these were deleted because we have to use, in place of that, use the CSS. There's a frame set were used. So in place of them, use JavaScript to achieve the same purpose, and so on. And so these are the few attributes which are present in some of the elements. They got removed in HTML5. So this is the list. So target was the attribute which was there present on link. That's removed. Similarly, like for example, headers attribute was there in table header and table data. That was removed. And align attribute was there in caption, image, and so on. That is removed, and so on. So, yeah. So then what are the new tags which were introduced in HTML5? So these are the semantics and structural tags like header, footer, main, article, section, aside, navigation. And these are the few frequently used tags which will actually define the structure of your HTML page, were newly added in HTML5. They were not present in HTML 4.01. And similarly, for enhanced functionality, like audio tag, video tag, canvas, data list, figure, progress, and so on, these are all added. So to improve the W3 consortium has realized that okay, the web forms is one of the important mechanism by which users share the data with backend web server. For that, they started supporting more input types like earlier date, color, email, all these things were, to implement them you have to use the jQuery library, but now they are supported natively by the HTML4 itself. So all these new fields were part of Web Forms 2.0 specification. They've been adopted into Web Forms 2.0 is a separate specification, sub-specification as part of this whole new standardization procedure. They are adopted as part of the HTML standard. And on input tag, there is some more attribute. Like for example, if you want to tell some attribute is mandatory, how do you tell it? So earlier it was done in using JavaScript validation. Now we just specify a required attribute, it will be done. Similarly, for specifying the placeholder, for if you want to tell that okay, only certain, like for example, in in place of let's say if there is a field, input field for specifying the phone number. Phone number, as you know, it should accept only the digits. It should not accept any alphabets. So in such a case, you want to specify that telephone field has to be only consist of digits, but not alphabets. So then you can specify a pattern using the pattern attribute, and that's how the web browser will natively do the validation of the data entered by the user, and if there is any error, it will immediately shown by the browser itself, rather than even doing in JavaScript or even always going back to the web server after when you submit the form, validating there and giving back the error. That way, the load on the web server is reduced, because the web browser will, most of the validation stuff will be done by the browser itself because of these new attributes, required, pattern, and placeholder. And there's also this new tags or attributes also defined, like data list, keygen, and output. Yeah, so I was talking about the new media elements like video. So here I'll just briefly, just for example, I'm just showing it. We'll cover more about the video tags in a separate module. So here the important thing is, so this is a video tag you can specify like this. So the whole, this is a start tag, okay, and as a content you can have again subtags. So here you can specify multiple sources from which the video can be played. So initially you'll try to play using MP4 format. Let's say if the MP4 format is not supported by that browser or it's not available, then it will go to the second source and it'll try to play that, okay, and so on. So while playing it, if you want to show even subtitles, if for example if you're viewing a different language video, then all those subtitles, probably English subtitles, you can browser can display it from this file called VTT, and so on. Like that, similarly, like this audio video tag, you have audio tag as well. So you can see the attribute here, controls. This controls, basically once you have the controls, you will have the pause and play, increasing the volume, decreasing the volume. Such controls, audio or video controls, will be displayed by the browser itself. And similarly, there is a integrated APIs like editable content, drag and drop functionality, geolocation, which we briefly talked about in the previous submodule. Okay, those are also supported added in HTML5. Yeah, let's come to the structural content tags. So do you have any questions here? I know it's a bit theory, but it's important. Okay? I think I'll promise that this will be only theory session, because it's very important to understand these things. Okay, if there are no questions, I'll move on. Let me see, looks like there is some question. Okay, great, there's no questions. Yeah, so this is a new tags which are defined in HTML5. So like I said, the header, footer, navigation. Let me directly, and then article and so on. Okay, let me just go back to the demonstration. Okay. Yeah. So I hope all of you can see my notepad screen, right? Can you see my notepad screen? Okay, great. Yeah. So here I take an example of Edureka site itself. Okay. Yeah. 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 So this is a Edureka site, as in you might have seen it. So I would like to implement some features of this website itself. So features which I chosen was this portion: live classes, expert instructions, and so on. Okay, this portion, the images which you can see, these four, and then yeah. So there is a course categories. When you can see here the big data. Okay, Karthik, you can log off and come back. Yeah, so I taken this this portion of the website, like course categories, wherein we have the categories as like say big data category and cloud computing, mobile development and programming. Okay, these features I would like to demonstrate using the new HTML5 tags. So see, as you know, you can see. So the HTML code of this web page using, you can right click and there's something called view page source. So click that, it will open in a new tab, and this is the HTML code which browser when it renders. So you will see this Edureka page. As you can see, there's a mix of JavaScript code. So there's some code which has been commented out. So you see this is a code comments. These are all code comments, which is, I mean, you can as well remove them. They do not have any effect on the web page rendering. Note that here the lot of divs have been used. You can see here 4 levels of divs are used in this. Right? Here are the starting tag. You can see all these are divs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, about 7. And then again, this is a JavaScript code, and this is the listed items here. And you can see here, this is a very long page. See, this has close to, as you can see, close to 5,000 lines. Okay. Yeah. So I don't want to comment anything about this. Yeah, I mean, definitely one thing I can say, there is a better way of coding this page. So note that here, I mean, yeah, it's doc type HTML means, yeah. So this means this is the HTML5. Just by looking at this first line, you can tell whether it is HTML4 or HTML5. When I say 4, 4.01. So if you see the shortened just doc type HTML, then it is HTML5. So if they say, if they are committed to HTML5, then they can make a they should start using the structural tags. But see, if you see that some websites, including Google, they have not used this structural tags because of multiple business reasons. One reason could be like, say, some users who are on older versions of browsers. For example, some people might be using Internet Explorer 6 or 7 or 8. So those browsers will not be able to render if you use HTML5 tags like header, footer, section, article, aside. These are all the new tags in HTML5. They will not be able to render. Probably to keep keeping those users who are in older versions of browsers in mind, some websites they'll continue to use the divs and then such older tags. They will not have adopted the new tags. That could be one reason. Okay. So yeah. So here, so this is my demo page in which I try to implement those 4 features here. As you can see, those images and also just the 4 course categories. So let's look at what is the code for it. So code is here. So this is a CSS style sheet. Note that this is all I just did it yesterday from the scratch, all the styling. So I'll just go through one by one. So yeah, so head section is the same as HTML4. So no difference in HTML5. In the body tag, so generally you should use a header tag. So you can see I use it to something which you want to be coming at the top of either page or at the top of a section. So this header can be present within a body tag or within a section tag or article tag. So it's up to you, but it should be placed at the top of a section or a page. So this is how I use header tag to say that Edureka is India's #1 company in instructor-led training. So because that's what the message which I would like to get across to the visitors of my site. Then I have a navigation. I use nav tag. So, so earlier people used to write the code like this. The div, and they used to write something like, say, ID is equal to nav. They used to write like this. This is see, you are just defining an identifier as value nav, but this is not the proper way to tag the HTML. So because when the screen readers will not be able to read out these 5 links as the links that are navigable or menu links. So sometimes some people, what they do is they do something like, say, UL, and they'll enclose these things under LI tags. So this is the old way of old way of specifying the menu. So basically, even here, so I'm just removing that. So the better way to do the same markup is using the nav tag. Note that if you want to have some other identifier, so you can do something like this. There's nothing wrong, because nav is also tag. You can have all the core attributes like ID is equal to my menu, and then you can start using this ID tag if you want to. So in this ID nav tag, I have defined 5 links. So note that all these are the anchors. I defined the anchor tag. Here in href, I have given the link to Edureka, the corresponding pages. And so this is what gets displayed: home, courses, blog, about us, contact us. This is what gets displayed as the menu items. Okay. So as you can see here, I have the menu, home, courses, and blog, and contact us. So note that, see, in the courses, when I'm clicking it, now it takes you to the Edureka page. So note that it goes to the actual Edureka page. So going back, and see here this contact us also. So if you click here, you look at the bottom here, so you'll see that link. Right? It's going to Edureka contact us page. So here in this page I used, so this is the Edureka contact us page. So here I have the menu item. So basically those are the anchors which I display the. Note that here on this anchors I have done styling. So now by default the background color is blue, and when you put the cursor on top of it, so it changes to pink. So here I used a hover. So let me go back to the CSS styling. So note that here I use basically this is a group selector. No, this is not group selector. This is called descendant selector. Yeah. So here anchor is a descendant of nav. As you can see here, the A is a child of nav. So that's how I specified it. So here I given different properties: display, font size, padding, text decoration. Note that if you delete text decoration, so You can just go back and then see. You'll see the underline below these links. See, because all the anchors by default, the standard decoration for the anchors is putting the underline so that you know them. You need to go and click. But since I would like to identify these menu items using a different style, like I want to have blue background. So now having a blue background, then I underline doesn't look good. Underline looks good only if it is there inside a paragraph text. So I want to delete that underline. So that I can control using that. So if you put it back, so text decoration none means don't decorate it using underline. So now see that underline will be gone. That's gone. Like that. Each and every, like for example, if you see that for anchor, I specified the background as the light blue. So if you want to use, you can use instead of this keyword, you can use RGB and let's say 150, 150, 150. So it will give you a different color. So you observe this color here. So it's changed. So you can make it even, let's say, yeah. You can just play with these colors. So let me just specify using HSL. HSL, let's say 150. This is like I'll say 70%, and here let me say 40%. I'm just doing them randomly. You see the color has changed. Now it's green. Just a minute. I'm getting a call. Just a minute. I'm back. So note that now I specified using 150. You can just change it to even, for example, let's make it say 70. Note that so let me ask you a question. So in HSL, what does HSL stand for? Can you take a guess? We just covered yesterday's class. Okay, let me ask first. H stands for what? You can type in the chat window. H stands for Karthik answered correctly. Yeah. Others can take a guess. Yeah, Amna also answered correctly. Yeah, Amna answered you, other two also correctly. Yeah, so H stands for hue, so which basically in the color, I said that in the color scheme, color wheel. So at the 0 degrees, basically the hue you specify in terms of 360 degrees in a circle. So imagine a circle at 0 degrees, wherever you start. So that is a red. And if you keep increasing and to 90 degrees and then to 120 degrees, at 120 degrees you have G, green, and you keep going further, and then at 240 degrees in the circle you have blue. Between 0 to 150 you have the red color changing it to green slowly. So this is like your WebGR color spectrum. How color changes from one color to another color in a gradual fashion. So that is called hue. Saturation is like whether you want a 100% full thick color, or 0 is very light color or almost no color. So like how thick you want. And whereas lightness is like how bright you want. Brightness. So that's what is called lightness. Let me just change it. Let's say 40% and increase the lightness to 90%. Okay, and you see the color. See now color is almost changed to, so you can see it's almost like a gray color. So yeah, so that means you should reduce the lightness. Generally you should put it at 50, and then you should put this the saturation to 100%. So to get the full thick color, so that is the color. So if you want, like for example, instead of 70, you make it 120, and then you should see. So when you say 120, what is the color I expect? Can you take a guess? 120 degrees. So here 120 means 120 degrees. Can you take a guess? Yes, Amna answered correctly. Karthik answered correctly. Correct. Yes. Let me try. Yes, that is thick green. So similarly, you can change it to 0 degrees. 0 degrees is what? It is red color. And similarly, 240. 240 is blue color, thick blue. As you can see, it is the thick blue. This is, I mean, as good as you specifying in RGB values. It is. So let me just give it. So this is equivalent to, so RGB. This is RGB blue, right? 0.0.255. So this left value is equal to the right value. Okay. So note that there's something called fourth parameter as well. That fourth parameter is opacity. Opacity, let's say, will increase the transparency of it. So I'll just change to 0.5, and you can see the transparency changing. So it's completely transparent. Therefore, you should put it, I mean, like let me just try 8 and then see. See, yeah. Yeah, it's transparency is there. I mean, it's completely transparent. I think, yeah. So you should play in, I think, different context. I think currently. So I would suggest you to play with it. Fourth parameter is there. Sorry. Yeah, I should specify A here. Sorry. Yeah. So then 0.5. You can see here the transparency. Now I'll change it to 0.8. And you observe that the color is changing. And now I'll change it to, let's say, 0.2 here. See, that's how you can control the lightness of the color. So if you want to give only 3 parameters, then you should give only HSL. If you want to use the fourth parameter, then you should give HSL A. A stands for alpha. So is that clear? How to use HSL A? And similarly, if you want to use RGB, so you can use RGB when you want to specify only 3 colors. So 0.0.255. So this is like thick blue color. So thick blue color. And if you want to use the fourth parameter, then RGBA, and then you should use, let's say, 0.3. Now you reduce the lightness. So that's how you can use RGB and RGBA, HSL, HSLA. Only these two, HSL and RGB, are the color models which are supported in the browsers. Okay. And you might be wondering, how did I get, let's say, whenever I move the cursor, so you see that it changes to pink. So that I did it using this hover. So note that this is same, the nav A here. And then I used, this is colon hover. Colon hover is which type of selector? Can you type in the chat window? So yesterday we talked about some pseudo selectors. Which pseudo selector is this? So can you type in the chat window? Which type of pseudo selector is this? Can you hear me? So yeah, if you don't know, you can just put question mark. That's how I know that, okay, yes, you heard my question. Yeah, Saif Ali responded. If you don't know, put question mark. That's fine. Okay. Fine. Okay, right. I think, yeah, nobody answered. Yeah, I'll give, see, colon hover. Yeah, great. Fine, that's fine. So colon hover is a pseudo class selector. Okay, pseudo class. So let me type in pseudo class selector. Okay, hope all of you got it. So it's a pseudo class selector. So so you can use these pseudo class selectors to get this effect. Note that this hover, earlier it was done using jQuery. So jQuery, as you know, it's a JavaScript framework library, and you have to load it. We have to download it from the website, and it's not. Since it's a JavaScript library, it will be heavy to execute. But with CSS3, since it is natively supported by the browser, so it is much more efficient, much more faster as well. So is that clear? So note that when I specified pseudo class selector colon hover, note that colon hover should be specified only at the last selector. So you should not specify like this. This is wrong. Then you are specifying the hover on the nav. My intention is to only on the hover. You can specify it, but you should have clear that what you want to achieve. But generally, it is specified the last tag. Otherwise, having the last tag doesn't make sense. If you put it hover on this nav here. So I specified here background as pink. That's the reason why whenever I put the cursor on top of this, so I'm refreshing it on top of this, so you see the color changing. So I said this is much more efficient and faster. Even the small devices like mobiles also, this hovering will respond very fast. Is that clear? How to use the hover? Okay, great. So yeah, let me get back to this. So that's how I defined this menu item. And let me just tell a few more things about the header. Okay. Yeah. So note that I defined so then just now I'm hearing someone else's voice. Yeah. Let me just call. Now I'm hearing someone else's like someone is reading out the mantras.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey,
Karthik?
I'm not able to hear anything actually.
Yeah. Are you hearing some mantras?
No, I'm not able to hear anything actually. No,
Oh, is it?
nothing.
Oh, there is some audio issues.
Yeah, now I'm able to hear you, but
I think there's some puja is happening and I'm hearing that puja. Now I can understand what you are going through.
yeah.
I'm hearing, I think someone doing some puja, like say some vrata, like Satyanarayana Swami vrata, and I'm hearing those mantras. That's really strange. Let me just. Jamatagni Gotrodbhavasya, all that I'm hearing. Oh, boss. Let me just contact that. See, I'm hearing their mantras. I will not be able to speak. Let me just call them. Okay, I'll just put myself on hold. I'll just call Edureka. Yeah. So I joined the conference. I think looks like I'm in the air. Let me just check with the participants. Amna, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you.
Great. James, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Great. Yeah. So, yeah, I think there are only 5. I think Lorraine and Chintala Manoj. Yeah, call them and then share this new link with them and let them join it. Okay? Okay, Jai Krishna. Thanks. Bye-bye. Yeah, sorry about this audio issues. I think something is going wrong. Um, I hope this does not repeat in future. So there are two more, Lorraine and Chintala Manoj. Those two are yet to join. Just we'll wait for 2 more minutes. So by then, until then, so let me take some questions. So yeah, do you have any questions? Amna, James, Karthik, Rohan, Saif Ali. Any questions? Like what have we discussed until now? We'll just wait for just 2 more minutes. Please bear with me. Let's wait for our other colleagues. Yeah, Amna has asked a question. What is the best way to get grasp on we learn? Doing a big project or doing small exercises? I think, I would start with doing small exercises, not a big project, because if you're doing a big project, then you'll get lost. And so I would suggest you have to start small. Like for example, even if I am doing any programming, be it in C++ or Java, so it's always recommended to write a small piece of code, test it, make sure that okay, it's what are the input, what are the various type of inputs which you give to it, that for a small piece of code, and check the outputs, make sure that it works fine. So now you have thoroughly tested small piece of code, and then similarly you start writing small piece of code and you join them together, and so that way your development will be much faster and much more robust as well. So I always I've been practicing this for almost close to, I would say, last 28 years. I always write small piece of code, test it, understand it thoroughly, and then start using it in my code. So that is the best way, I would suggest. So you have the best resources like W3 schools, and there I have given a lot of the links in the further reading section at the end of the slides. So please go through, visit all those websites, read through those articles. I think that will immensely will be helpful and will improve your understanding of the HTML and CSS. So to be honest, I'm still learning a lot of things in CSS3. HTML, more or less, yes, I got a reasonably good grasp of it, but CSS3, I'm still learning a lot of things, because there's so many combinations with playing with the so many 150 CSS properties, and so there's a lot to learn. I'm still learning. Did that answer your question, Amna? Yeah, always start small. That's the best. Like for example, in today's demo, so I just took the Edureka website and I started implementing from the scratch. So I think others have not joined. Yeah, James has a question. What was the CSS version with HTML 4.1? Yeah, 4.01. So CSS version was CSS 2.1. So that is the version which was used with generally HTML 4.01. CSS 2.1. Got it, James? Yeah, we are waiting for Lorraine and Chintala Manoj. So I'm hoping that basically that Edureka tech support team to call them and then ask them to join this webinar. So what anyone else had audio issues? Like Amna, did you have any audio issues? Like crosstalk and okay, Rohan didn't have any audio issues. Amna didn't have audio issues. Saifali had no audio issues. James also didn't have any audio issues. Like only Karthik seemed to have audio issues. Yeah. Fine. I hope this does not repeat because like today because of these issues we almost lost half an hour of time. Okay. I hope that they'll join sometime. Let me continue. Okay. We wait for some. Yeah. Let's continue. Yeah. So yeah. Let's go back to the slides. Okay. So as you can just read through these slides. So there's basically these semantic tags which I was talking about, a header, basically for the header of a section or a page, footer which is at the bottom, navigation for the menu, okay, and basically article basically there is some debate going on between see there's article element and there's a section element. Is it that how the article is different from section? So basically article is a logical entity. Okay, so like for example a news article. Okay, there's a news article. The news article will have different sections. Probably it is a audio section or a say like a preliminary section. And some others, I'm just giving them. I'm not a journalist, but basically article is a logical entity. Within that you have sections. So, but that's not the hard and fast way of structuring a page. So in this previous one, which I talked about the news article, you have the article, and inside that, as a child elements, you have sections. But it could be other way as well. You can have one sections. Within that section, probably you can have articles as well. It is just, it's up to you how you want to structure, but both are possible. But HTML5 doesn't define how to structure it, whether elements, sections inside articles or articles inside section. So that's completely left to the web designer, web programmer. And there's an aside element which actually generally appears to the right side of the page. Okay, if you see here the EduReka page, I think EduReka page, I don't know whether they have something on the right side. So yeah, you can see, yeah, this is in this page, right, front-end web development course. So you can see the left-hand side, you see some like these images, and then the LMS discussion forums. That's the left-hand side. This is the center portion on the right-hand side. Okay, so right-hand side, so for the left-hand side portion, the right-hand side portion where you can see need help and your next class. So for those portions, you can use the aside tag, aside element. So this element. So generally it appears on the left and right side of the page. So this is basically, this is somewhat related to the main content, but this is some additional information. And there's a div tag which is there in HTML 2.4.01 as well, but it's a versatile tag. If all other tags like what we discussed here, structural tags, article, section, aside, header, footer, if none of them meet your requirement of describing the structure, as a last resort, use a div tag. Otherwise, don't overuse it. Okay. Yeah, 1 minute. Looks like I got a call from EduReka support. 1 minute. Yeah, I'm back. Okay. So then what is the role of div tag? You can just read through it. It behaves like a block element, but it's a generic container. And there are some attributes like align attribute, which is deprecated in HTML5. And you can use the other tags like ID, class, title, direction, and language attributes as well. And even this div tag has there's something called event attributes. Okay, so those also can be used on a div tag. And how to use the ID attribute. Okay, so this we already discussed. You can read through it. And we also know how to use the class attribute that we also discussed. Okay, so we'll come back to that. I'll just continue with my demonstration. So we are talking about the nav tag. So nav tag, as I said, you have to mainly use it for the navigation links, like menu links. So it could be at the top of the page, like in my demo page, like this at the top, or you can have the left hand side, or it could be on the right hand side at the bottom, wherever you want. But so if those anchors or those links are for navigation, then use the nav tag. And below that, I used a section tag, and within the section, I used basically, so again another header tag, you see, which talks about unique features of EduRec online training. And within that, just for a demonstration purpose, so ideally within this, let's say if you're writing a news article, within the section, after this header tag, instead of P tag, you can have some article tag as well here. So article tag here, and then end the article tag. So, but only thing is inside that you should have some article. Okay, but I'm just undoing it. Fine. So that is, as I said, you can have articles inside a section, or sections inside an article. Both are fine. So here I got them basically. And this is a P tag. Okay. Here are a paragraph tag. In that I just pointed to the. Yeah, Karthik has a question. Article, is it also text? Yes, it's a text. Both. See, all these header, footer, all of them, even aside tag, section, article, all of them. So you can embed anything you want. So if you want to embed a text, yes, you can have text. Like for if you want to embed, basically it's just a container element. All these article sections, and these are container elements. Within that, you can put any valid HTML element. It's just completely left to you how you want it to be placed. Did that answer your question, Karthik? Karthik, did that answer your question, or? Yeah. So if you ask me how they are different, I mean they are no different. It's just like logical structuring. So I said no. So if you are writing a news article, then you will have article as outside, and within that you will have sections as a child elements. But if you are writing something else, probably you will have section, and within that you will have like articles. It's quite possible. It's just, I mean, both are very generic structure elements. There's no hard and fast rule. And then I checked it on the standard, and then I did some research about it on the web as well. But people suggest you can use either way. There's no hard and fast rule. Yeah, even I'm not very comfortable that, okay, yes, you can use it the way you want. But yeah, I'm not comfortable. But yeah, probably the people who are sitting on W3 consortium standard body, they'll realize it over a period of time and then define how to use it in a better way. Still, that confusion still exists. Okay. Okay. So here I'm just for demonstration purpose, I used a paragraph tag. Within that, I embedded an image element. Just for formatting purpose, here I used a break tag. Here I tried to do without it, but I could not do it. I think the quick, fast way I could do it is by adding a break tag here. So basically, this is inserting a new line. Then I use the bold tag here and live classes, and again I break there, and then I use a span element. So this is for interactive live sessions. And then yeah, I have some more text here. So the same thing is repeated in the other 4 paragraph tags as well, the same structure. So that all of that I included a section, because so that section is what is included. These 4 icons you see, right? This is a blue icon, yellow icon, green and red icon. All these icons, all these 4 elements I embedded, I enclosed within this section. Note that here this is quite simple, easy to read. But if you see corresponding EduRec site, it's you can just look at it. It's quite complicated. So one complication I'll show you is, yeah, the way to, someone was talking about the how to use the Firefox. So the Firebug is one of the good tools, which is like it's a magnet. You are looking, you're opening up the website and you're looking at what are the parts, I mean how it is rendered. So Firebug generally it's initially implemented on Firefox, Mozilla Firefox, so Mozilla's Firefox browser, but the same Firebug extension has been implemented for Chrome browser as well. But Chrome natively has got what is called, if you just click this menu item in Chrome, so go to, see basically this Firebug is a extension or plugin. So you need to search on the Google and you will get the link, and then you have to download it and then install it on your browser. Most probably in Chrome, you can go to here the settings. Okay, and there is something called link, extensions. Go to extensions and go down. You'll see get more extensions. Click there and go and search for the Firebug. Note that Firebug, this is a Firebug icon. It's already installed on my machine. This is Firebug Lite 1.4.0. So I switched off. So you can search for this Firebug. Okay. Search for it. It's searching. Yeah. So these are the Firebug. Yeah, you'll get the results on the right hand side. So you can just add it. So it'll get added to your browser. Similarly, you can do it in like for example, let me see. Do you have Firebug here? I don't have. So here I'm in now Mozilla Firefox. So click on add-ons. So get add-ons. So otherwise you can search here. Search here Firebug. So here this is Firebug 2.07. So just go and click on install. So now it is downloading. So it will take some time depending upon your speed of your internet connection. So note that it will come. So you see here. So 2.07 has been installed. So it is deactivated. So you have to go and activate it. I think, yeah. So you go and click, yeah. So it's been installed. Like say, let me just see. Yeah, this is a Firebug. So this is a Firebug. Like for example, let me just take that Edureka's URL itself. Are you able to see my screen? Can you type in the chat window? Okay, great. So now I'm temporarily moving to Firefox browser. So you have seen that I installed a Firebug. It's very straightforward. I hope all of you got how to install Firebug. So if you understood how to install Firebug, type in Firebug in the chat window. If you understood it, yeah. Amna has understood it. Saif Ali, James also understood it. Great. I hope others also understood it. Great. Thank you. So you see, you'll see the small bug icon on in your browser. So if it is deactivated, just activate it. And so the way to view it is just copy paste your link, whatever you want to debug. So open it. Open the browser window. Can you just, can I take just a 1 minute break? I'll go for nature's call. I'm back. Can you hear me? Okay, great. Yeah, I'm inside the, I just opened the Edureka site. if you want to see even so understand each and every element on this HTML page, so go and click on the Firebug. So sometimes see, you can same thing you can do on Chrome browser. Like here, you can go to this Chrome menu icon, click on that. You go to settings. Okay, not settings. Sorry. So Chrome, and there is something called More Tools. In the More Tools, you go down. There's something called Developer Tools. So select that, and you see interface something similar to your Firebug. So here you can see basically all the HTML elements. So as you can see, as when I move the cursor, 1 minute. Yeah, here I'll just choose the Edureka site in this. So you can just open Edureka page. You see in the right hand side, the content will change as well. See left hand side, Edureka page, on right hand side, the element. See, it's getting loaded. Okay. Now, see, if you want to see, like for example, there is a Edureka logo, right? You want to see where that element which displays this. You click on this. So this I'm in Chrome browser now. Click on this lens icon. Click that, and go and take your mouse cursor onto that icon which you want to inspect, and click on that. So on the right hand side, so it will take you to the image where it's getting displayed. So if you want to copy, again right click here and say copy, and you can go back to your favorite editor, and let me just add this in the header. Okay, so I'll just add it here itself. You can see. So so this is image tag. I didn't enter it. I just copy pasted from this Chrome browser. You see here, I just copy pasted this. That's all. And you do Control V here like this. Control V, it will get copied. So you don't have to manually type it. So here note that Edureka is storing on a CDN. CDN stands for Content Delivery Network. So basically, Content Delivery Network is it's closed. It's a specialized. You might have heard of a company by name Akamai. So which is specialized into content delivery network. So advantage of this is that so it will use some specialized technologies to deliver the frequently used content like images and CSS scripts and some other stuff which is frequently used and which doesn't change over a period of time. So which is hosted on these content delivery networks. So it is sent very fast served very fast to the end users rather than going all the way to the actual server. So Google uses these CDNs heavily. That's how you get very fast response times on Google. And you can see so on this, basically this will be a server, web server on which this content will be hosted. So under image directory, basically this Edureka logo.png is present. So here they specified alt tag. In case for some reason they could not display this image, so this text which is there in the alt tag will get displayed. So that's how you can copy paste. Let me just go back to my. Yeah, this one you can see there's no Edureka logo. I'm refreshing it. For some reason it's not displayed. Okay, actually it should get displayed. Let me just move that to somewhere else and then see. So I'm just moving below the header. So it should work now. So let me just refresh. So see, note that it's not coming. Then only way to check it is see whether that logo is present. Copy. See, nothing is coming. That means here what I suspect is this web server is checking where the request is coming from. If it is not coming from a Edureka website, then it's not serving the content. Okay, that's the reason why you're not able to see. So instead of that, what I'll do is, I have locally copied this image. I'll just get from there. Yeah, I have a Edureka logo. Where do I have the Edureka logo? Yeah, I have the Edureka logo here. Let me just copy this onto my, yeah, I can just use it as is. So I can specify that. I can say copy this, rename, and copy the path. Here I can specify just the source as ed here. So ed and then the Edureka logo, which is same. And let me just see it. Yeah, so it's a big, very big. So let me just go back and change it to, so you specify width as, let's say 30%. Okay, let's see whether it's able to display properly. Yeah, it's a smaller image. Now let's make it even, let's say 10%, and then I move to the header here. Yeah, so let's move it not here. I didn't want here in this section. I wanted here in this. Okay. Yeah, I got the Edureka logo there. Fine. Yeah, so good. So let's go back to the Firebug. So now let us see. So the way I copied those links was, like, for example, here you see this image. So how do I know where this image is? So the way is here in this case. I mean, in case of, now I'm back in Chrome browser. So in Chrome, you have to click on this. You see a small rectangle and then an arrow pointing there. Click on that and go and select this. Put the cursor on that and click. And you know that corresponding element gets selected. So you copy paste. You copy here. Copy. Where is that copy? Copy, yes. Copy HTML and come back here. And this is what I copied here. You can see here. So this is a, so see the alt tag here, they given it empty. But you see, if you're giving it empty, then it's as good as giving nothing. So if you want to give something, at least you should give something like, so this is live classes. Actually, we should give some text like this. If that's ideal, because if this image is not displayed, this text will be displayed. There's no point in giving empty alt tag. So therefore, you can as well remove it. That's what I did. You see here, that is what I used here. That is how you can copy from the existing website. So you don't have to look at the HTML. You can directly use the Firebug, and you can directly, for example, if you want to see where this is present. For example, let's go to let's say MongoDB. So you want to see what this image is. Click here, go here, click. That's all. That is the image. And right click and then copy HTML. So come back here. So that's it. Here you see this image tag. This is MongoDB development admin, and there is some class. They defined some two classes there. In this place. Okay. And let's go back to that. So that's all. So you can just see this is the console. This is a place where you can see different HTML elements. On the right hand side, you see the CSS styling. Note that this is the styling which is used. Let me just make it bigger. Okay, and you can scroll down here, like all the styles. So it needs some you need to study this to really understand what is exactly happening. So note that there's some bootstrap.css and all these CSS files. So they might have got included by default by the browser. So from those CSS files, it is taking the styles, and yeah. So you need to study it. So okay. So you can scroll down then. So similarly, you can click on the computed and how the values are computed. For example, in the case of box model, how the width is computed and height and all these properties on the box model. You can see all these properties. Box model properties and other properties. Also, let's check it here itself. Yeah, Karthik asked a question. CSS cannot be copied easily like HTML. Yeah, it's a good question. I never tried it. Let me just try. I think it looks like it's not. Yeah, I think you need to mark something like this. But see, it's not as comfortable as copying HTML. So probably I'm just moving the cursor and see, I have to copy. I'm going in the notepad and then pasting it. So yeah, it's copying something, but yeah. So I know it's not copying. It just copied the previous one. What is there in the Chrome? No, in the clipboard. I think it's not copying. It's not. Let me just try. Oh yeah, I think it's the copy. Let me just go back and then see. Yeah, it copied. This is how it copied. So what you have to do is you have to go there and put the cursor and then press it and then drag it. So once it gets selected, again right click and say copy. So that's how I copied it. Okay. So when you copy like this, see, it copied all the properties. You see that, Karthik? Did that answer your question? Okay, yeah. It's not very, user friendly. Probably you have to go and do a lot of editing. Yeah, Karthik asked a question like, should we copy entire CSS? See, my answer is yes, no. No, because see, if in the CSS you are interested only to style that particular element. Okay, so but whereas in the Firebug, as you can see, it shows a lot of other styles as well, which you may not be interested, because all of those style properties are default properties, which browser will do it anyway for you. So there's no point in copying all of them. So only thing what you are interested in, what you want to change in styling, only that you need to specify. So yeah, definitely, at least in Firebug is not very, but whereas same thing if you do it in Chrome, it's much more user friendly. Okay, let me just go back and then see it. Let me have a glass of water. Yeah, so I'm the same Edureka site. I'm opening the more tools and then developer tools. Okay. Then you see that now I have the elements. So here that way Chrome is a little better compared to Firebug. Firebug is one of the favorites for many web developers. So here, as I said, even for inspecting a particular element, you just click on this the lens icon. So go on, select it, click on that. So that is the one. So if you want to select this one, let's, for example, I'm going down. Sometimes this happens. Yeah. Let's, for example, I want to get this what you call cloud computing, this logo. So click that first, come here, this one. Yeah, sometimes it does not work. You have to be a little patient when you're working these tools. Yeah, you see when you see the blue background, that's when it got selected, it recognized. Then you click. So that is the place where it takes. So then you say copy. Okay. So yeah, coming back to the Karthik's question, yeah, styling. So in Chrome, it displays the style reasonably well. So here we can see in the styles below. Here element.style means this is the style that is defined in the start tag with element style attribute. You can see here style attribute width is 30 pixels and displays inline block. That is what get displayed here. Okay, you got it, Karthik? And so that is since that is the highest priority, that is shown in the top. Then it is applying some styles from there's a img-responsive that class from bootstrap.css which got included by the edureka.co, and where the display block has been overridden because display block has been there in the style attribute, and only two attributes are affected. See there you see the line which is cutting across that display block. That means that is got overridden. That's what it means. You can enable or disable it using this. You can see here this is a tick mark, and then you can uncheck it, check it, uncheck it using that. So that will only take effect only when in the browser. But if you want to do it in the external CSS file, you should go and manually edit it. So like that, you can see here there is another CSS file. The properties are overridden completely, and so you can see bootstrap, the image. So yeah, you can just scroll down. So this is the, if it is there at the top, that means that's got highest priority. If it is at the bottom, means it is the lowest priority. So you're asking me whether it's possible to copy them. So let me try. So you can just say, yeah, I think yeah, you can copy it. Like for example, whole what is this? Insert style rule. No, that is for inserting dynamically style rule. So I just copied here and go back to the text editor. Yeah, exactly. See now this one copied very well because that's what I'm interested in. So it copies the way you want. Yeah, you can save it. So that way, I mean, so and note that on the right hand side you can see the rectangles. This is your CSS box model. You can see so width and height. So width is 30 pixels here. So that is what is 30 by 30. Since height is not displayed, that is also taken as height is also 30. So 30 by 30 is width and height, and the padding is nothing. That is hyphen. Border is also nothing. Border is not specified. Margin is also nothing. So if you specify, go and like for example, if you just go and click there, here you can see add here. Yeah, here you can add dynamically the properties. For example, I can add let's say border colon, let's say 1 pixel, solid, and then let's say red color. So now you see the border became thick. The border is, it shows as 1. Okay, and so if you go back here, you see the border is you can see red border along the trending all these icons. Because since you see the red border, it wasn't existing before, because I dynamically added from this Firebug, this one, this border. If you want it, you can see here, now the border is disappeared because you can enable right from here. Did you notice that, Karthik? You can see, feel for it. Okay, so yeah, since that so this you can see it. You can just you can so basically all the requests that go on the network you can see in the network, and similarly it will show all the source files. You can just yeah, you can just explain with it, and you will be able to understand better. Okay. Yeah, Karthik has asked one question. How do we identify CSS for a particular thing? How do you identify CSS for a particular thing? Yeah, basically, see, whenever you select that item, the element, using this icon, so whatever you show in, whatever you see in the styles, all those styles are applied on that element only. So if you want to see the element on this one, go and click on that element alone. Then it will show only the element that is applied onto that. I think you got it right. Okay, great. So any other questions regarding Firebug and how to use development tools? Yeah, sometimes when these dev tools or Firebug will be quite helpful because in a huge HTML file, to identify what elements corresponds to which HTML markup, it will be time consuming. It's even frustrating as well. But using these tools, you can locate to that place quite easily if you're smart in using these tools. Just that, yeah, these tools, as you know, are not very user friendly. But yeah, you have to get used to it, the idiosyncrasies of these tools. Once you know how to use them, it will be quite useful. Okay. Yeah, it's almost like 11:05. I've got few more slides. So what shall we do? So I won't take your call. Let me just see what is there in the next session. In the next session, we have HTML forms and audio video. Probably if see HTML, see audio video should not take much time. HTML form also should not take much time. So probably what we can do is, we can just continue the remaining stuff in the next class. In case if I forget, please remind me. So we'll continue with that. The module. Yeah, we are almost at the end of it. Let me just check it. Yeah, the few more. Yeah. So we just started. Where are we? Yeah, we are there. Probably let's see module 4.3 we can cover in the next class. Is that fine? We'll cover the module 4.3 in the next class. So that I don't want you to stay back. Okay, and yeah. So yeah, for today we can close. I'll stop. I'll just take any questions if you have. This module 4.3 will continue in the next session, because next session I think we have 3 hours and we have sufficient time, and I think we should be able to finish it off. And yeah, I'll take James' question. What is the best debugging tool for IE browser other than Visual Studio, similar to Firebug? Sorry, James, I do not use IE browser because of multiple reasons. Support for HTML5 is not very good on IE. That's one reason. And for quite some time, Microsoft was not paying attention to making enhancements to IE. I do not know whether there is a similar plugin like IE Firebug on IE. So let me just research on it. So and get back to you. Offhand, I do not know. Let me just copy that question so that I don't miss it out. Okay. So what is the best debugging tool for IE browser other than Visual Studio, similar to Firebug? Okay, I'll make a note of it. Probably I'll answer your question by email if I get it. I think this is your email ID, correct, right? James John. Okay. Yeah. So if I come across anything, I'll just send you by email. Okay. So any other questions? Amna, Saif Ali, Karthik. Okay. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the class, please fill in the feedback form. I know, today we didn't have a very great experience because of some audio issues. I hope, yeah, we'll not have this in the future. Okay. Please give the feedback. Excuse me for that audio issues. Yeah, Karthik wants some help on Bitnami setup. Yeah, Karthik, I'm available. If you want it right away, we can do it. Or if you want in some other time, so let me, you suggest me when is a good time. So do you want it right away? I'm fine, I'm available. So, yeah, great, yeah. So I hope it's not too late for you. I think you're from, yeah, after class is over, probably once everyone leaves, then we only two of us can have. Okay. So you can stay back. So others, if you have any questions, you can just type in the chat window. So if you're done for today, then you can exit this webinar. Yeah, thanks to all of you. Please fill in the feedback. And as I said, please excuse me for that audio issues. So Amna, Rohan, any other questions? See, if you want to stay back, you can stay back. If you need help on Bitnami, you can stay back. So if you want to stay back, type in stay back. So want to stay back in the chat window so that I know that you're not leaving the Amna and Rohan. If you want to stay back, type in stay back in the chat window. Okay, Amna, you can go ahead. You can leave. Thank you. Please fill in the feedback, Amna. Bye-bye. Bye, Amna. Rohan, do you want to stay back? Rohan, are you there? Can you hear me? So I'm unmuting you, Rohan. Yeah, Rohan? Are you there, Rohan? Rohan, are you there? Okay, fine. I think he's not at his desk. Yeah, Karthik, since only two of us, so we can just, rather than chat window, you're also on the air. So
Yeah,
you can, yeah. So let me just see whether you can share it. So let me just pass on. So do you want me to just show how to do it, or you want me to do it on your machine? How do you want?
Yeah, actually, I tried using that procedure, but somehow the port number or something is not working out, and I'm not able to host from my machine.
Okay, fine. So let us see. If see for that, what I need is, so I need what do you call screen control to your laptop or your machine. So that I can take you through the steps. I can do the configuration, everything. So if that does not work, say I taking control of your laptop through this GoToWebinar, what we'll do is we'll switch to Skype.
Okay, sure.
On Skype, you can do it.
Yeah, I have Skype.
So let me just try. You have Skype installed, right?
Yes.
So can you just type in your Skype ID? So that we'll use that as a backup option. We'll try to do it in this webinar itself. If that doesn't work, we'll switch back to Skype. Okay. Okay, let me just copy that before I miss it out. Mm. Where is it? K-R-T-H-I-K, Karthik, R-E-N-G-A-N, T-H-A-N 2, right? Okay, same thing. Same thing as your UST global ID, but just that, okay? Suffix is 2, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay, let me just make a note of it. So, you are located in which city, Karthik?
Bentonville, Arkansas, USA.
No, which place?
US.
US. Which state?
The state is Arkansas.
Arkansas. Okay.
Yeah.
What is that place called?
Bentonville.
Bentonville. Okay. Okay. See, let me. So what I'll do then, I'll make you organizer. Then you can share your screen. I don't know. Let's see whether you'll be able to give me the control.
Okay.
Let me see. Make you an organizer. Yeah, make presenter. So you'll be able to make presenter, but so if you're making, if I make you presenter, then you'll be able to show your screen, but I'll not have your control of your screen.
Okay.
Right? So what you need to do is, I'll make you the presenter. Okay.
Okay.
Then you will have this. Now. Okay. So now you have control of my.
There was some audio
So
disturbance.
try now. Okay. So try. I think now you have audio. My. Yeah. So now you can try moving your cursor, mouse cursor.
Yeah, I'm moving my cursor.
No, it's not moving here. So type in that my. So move the cursor and then type something in my this text window. Type in hello. Are you able to type in?
Oh,
Not able to type in.
Yeah,
In
I'm
my
not
chat,
able-
you're
in
not
your
able to
chat.
type in, right?
No,
Yeah.
in chat
So
window,
you
I
see,
mean, yeah, in chat
no,
window, I'm
not
able
chat
to type
window.
it.
Not chat window. You should be able to type in my text window.
Oh, in your text window, no.
Notepad. Yeah.
No.
You're not able to do it, right? So let me just give a. So let me. I made you organizer, right? So make presenter. Yeah. Now I made you presenter. So you are the presenter. Okay.
Yeah, I'm able to, it's asking for show my screen. Yeah.
Yeah. Show your screen.
Yes, I selected that.
Okay. No, I don't think we are able to do it. I think yeah, I can see your screen, but I'm not able to type in, get your control. No, I think it's not possible here. Go to
Give
webinar.
keyboard and mouse. So there is an option. Give keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, try that.
Give control of keyboard and mouse to attendee.
Yes, click that. Click that.
Yeah, I clicked it. Okay, organizer. Okay. There are two options: Edureka session organizer and Srinivasu Sai organizer.
Yes, give it to Srinivas Lusaya.
Okay, I have given it.
You've given it, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm able to type in. Yeah, I have control. Srinivaslu Saya. Yeah. I have the control. Okay. I think, yeah, I have the control. So let me just try once more. So like here, www dot, yeah. So I'm clicking on Google. It opens the Google page, and I'm typing my name. Alright. Yeah, it's very slow. Edureka. Yeah, it's very slow actually. It's working, but it is very slow. I think I feel Skype will be better. So can we fall back?
Yeah, sorry.
Is that fine, Karthik?
Go to Skype.
Can we? Yeah, let's do Skype because it's very slow.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
working, but it's very, very slow.
Okay, sure. So do
Okay.
I add your idea or
So,
something?
yeah, just give back, make me the presenter. Give it back to me. You say make me the presenter. Or I'll say I can do it myself, I think, yeah. Yeah, so, fine. Fine. So let me just go off here. I'll close this webinar. And so you can note down my, so I'll send you a meeting invite, sorry, Skype invite, and we accept that.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
So accept it in Skype only?
Yeah, in Skype only. So then we can, once you accept it, then we'll get connected. Then we can have it there. That will be better.
Okay,
Okay.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye.